Thank you, moderator. I'm Bob Smith, the convener of the Cutting Edge of Mission Committee. Our report, which is quite short and has no recommendations, is on page 29 of the Life and Mission Agency report. The task each year before the Cutting Edge of Mission Committee is to research agencies involved in the work of mission or individuals with a view to identifying those which strike us as being on the cutting edge of the church's work that is innovative and fresh, work that builds up the church and proclaims and embodies the gospel message in new and compelling ways. We then invite that individual or a representative of an organization to come to address the General Assembly, to describe their work and to receive from us, from the church, a check in the amount of $10,000, which they can use to assist them in advancing their work and to honor the efforts that they're making. This year, we have chosen to lift up the work of the Friends of Prison ministry at the Church of Central Africa Presbyterian in Malawi. With minimal government support, the conditions in prisons there are very challenging, and for the most part, inmates are essentially forgotten. Interacting with prisoners, prison staff, prisoners' families, and their communities, a team of 5 Malawians now work full-time sharing the gospel and planting seeds in that kind of context. You can read more about their work in the spring edition of the Connections newsletter, and there are copies of that report on the resource tables out on the other side. And there's a piece about it in the LMA report on page 24 of your documents. We had an original plan, which was to bring Reverend Hastings Phale, a local leader in the Friends of Prison ministry, from Malawi to Canada to address this assembly. Unfortunately, we've moved to Plan B, because despite tremendous work on the part of our national office staff and their counterparts in Africa, we were unable to secure a visa for Hastings to come to Canada in time for him to address us in person. Fortunately, Hastings was able to make a video just a few weeks ago, and we'll turn to that momentarily, and we can share that with the Assembly. So, moderator, in the Reverend Hastings Phale's absence, the Reverend Joel Sherbino, appointed by our international ministries of our church and serving as Malawi liaison and working alongside the Malawian team, he's here, and we will ask you to present to him the award so he can receive it on behalf of the Friends of Prison Ministry in Malawi, and say a few words that will lead into the video which is to come. And if technology cooperates, the Reverend Hastings will join us by video link for a few words at the conclusion of the video. Pray for us.
Yes. We're waiting for the Zoom to come on. Well, thank you for receiving this on behalf of the Friends of Prison Ministry, and and we look forward to hearing the presentation. But thank you for being with us today, and for marking this incredible mission and ministry that is happening. So, thank you, and we look forward. Fingers crossed, we can see Hastings' presentation and be able to speak to him directly. So, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, thank you, moderator, and commissioners here at the General Assembly. My apologies for being Plan B. But I've had the privilege for the last 10 years of overseeing and working with the Friends of Prison ministry in Malawi. And it is a ministry that has truly captured my heart and captured the heart of so many people in Canada and also in other countries as well. It's a ministry that really started simply and humbly. Started by going into prisons. One of the most forgotten places in Malawi. Malawi's in the southern part of Africa, typically one of the poorest countries in the world. And so if you imagine that and then imagine the circumstances within prisons, you start to see very quickly many of the conditions that they face. Prisons in Malawi are chronically overcrowded and underfunded, receiving about a third of the budget that would actually be required for these men, women, and children to receive just the humanitarian aid and needs that would happen. So in 2015, we really began to get more involved in the prisons. It started, as I said, quite humbly. We were involved in 2 prisons. In the last 10 years, we have seen this ministry grow to where we are now involved in 24 prisons in the southern part of Malawi. That covers about 6,000 men, women, and children weekly. We're involved in a number of things that Hastings is going to share with all of you. But essentially, we live with a vision of planting seeds of hope, a hope that comes in knowing just the love and the grace of Jesus in the midst of all of life. And so we have a dedicated team of 5 Malawians that I have a part of working with. Hastings is our country coordinator, and then we have 4 area chaplains who go into various prisons. Typically 4 to 5 prisons are under each of them. And one of the challenges that the prisons face in Malawi is that they're often in very rural and remote areas. And so getting to these prisons is oftentimes incredibly hard. But we have seen just amazing things through this ministry. We have seen lives changed and lives transformed. The other Hastings, one of our team leaders, actually came to faith while a prisoner in one of our ministries. And upon his release, became a part of our team and is now one of our team leaders. Just again, seeing the impact of the gospel upon his life and upon the lives of others. And so it's disappointing that Hastings could not be here in person, but it's a great privilege and with great excitement to introduce you to Hastings via video as he shares a little bit more of his heart and the heart of this ministry with all of you.
I bring you greetings from Malawi Friends of Prison. My name is Hastings Phale. I am a coordinator of Friends of Prison in Malawi. Together as a ministry, we are like missionaries who are always visible in prisons. Around 24 prisons we visit in Malawi. I would like to thank you for giving us this opportunity that we are able to join you in this good occasion, the General Assembly. It is a privilege for us as a team in Malawi that we are able to come to this assembly. So we say thank you. We also appreciate for the cutting edge ministry for this opportunity of giving us an award of thousands of US dollars to help our ministry to continue with whatever we are doing. We appreciate this and we are full of gratitude and thank you that of all many organizations and groups and committees, you recognized our team. Thank you very much for this. We are a ministry which is able to go in prisons, and mostly our focus is to bring hope to the hopeless. You might not have the real picture of what prison is all about in Malawi. Malawi prisons are totally different from yours, because in Malawi prisons, there are a lot of challenges that the prisoners face. Just for example, the challenge of the prison cells are just very small, that it doesn't habitate many people. I can give you an example of one of the prisons that was built to host around 800 prisoners, but it hosts over 2,000 prisoners. So the life in prison for our colleagues who are imprisoned, it is not easy. It is a difficult thing. But again, I would like you to understand this, that many people in Malawi live below poverty line. And so when they go to prison, it's like they are coming from already a difficult life. And so they go to another difficult life, which is like the whole human has been dehumanized. Because they are in prison, they meet lots of obstacles, struggles, and difficulties in life. They are confined. There is no happiness. There is no joy. And some of the prisoners are even rejected by their communities. They are found in prison, and not even a single person would love to go and visit them, would love to share them even a word, even a greeting. Many prisoners lose touch of their families, of their communities where they come from. There are just a few who can have good families who come and visit them. And this is why Malawi Friends of Prison becomes now a group of people that now bridges that gap. Because now these people have no friends, so we come in and become their friends. We come in as, like Jesus says, I am a friend of sinners. Not necessarily that Jesus condones sin, or we do that, but these people need someone who can hear their stories, someone who can be in their feet, someone who can understand their situation, someone who can reason with them to help them to be together with their communities. So we come in prison. We are known as Abwenzi. Abwenzi is a Chichewa name saying friends. And friends in Chichewa Abwenzi, it's not just like a friend whom you have known, just like that, but it's more in depth as a companion. So we are companions to these people. We bring them hope by bringing them the good news about Christ. So we come in. Sometimes we come in as preachers. So we do conduct open preaching forums. It happens. But we also come in as people who bring in Bible study. So we sit down together. Like you can imagine the context of the prison in Malawi. There are no chairs. And sometimes you're just like there on the floor. Of course, they respect us by giving us small benches. So we sit down with them, right in their context, and we discuss about what does Jesus say about them, how much Jesus thinks about them. We always tell them, Jesus thinks about you. So we try to help them that they don't have to think they are lost. They don't have to think they are not part of the society. We try to tell them that even if your families forget you, you are not forgotten, because Christ never forgets. And because of that, and with our presence, they realize there is life even inside prison. Again, we go there also, we bring them counseling. So we sit down, not just bringing them scriptures or sitting together and studying the Bible together. We also try to learn from them. What is their situation? So they tell us in depth, right, like what has been happening to them before they were in prison. What is their situation in prison? What do they think about when they get out of prison? So our team, helps these people to understand what does their past mean. Their past could be an example of training them how their future could be. How much is it bad that they think about the past? So we try to tell them, focus about now and future. So then we try to help them on how they will no longer have to go back to that life of the past, and how much they live in hope of the future, of the good future. So yeah, we help them in such a way that we sit together and we do that. Not only that, in some of the prisons, we bring theological education, which is a program that these people are trained to understand how God works with people, how can they now be good disciples of God, and what about when they get out of prison. And I can challenge you, friends, that because of this initiative, some are now pastors in their in their congregations, especially congregations which are not like we say CCAP in Malawi, which is Presbyterian. But also there's another one who is now enrolled by the theological seminary in the northern part of Malawi, after serving in prison, after learning about Christ, after knowing about the theological, which is a basic way of them understanding how God works. Now his eyes has been opened, and he is able now to become a pastor of even CCAP Livingstonia Synod. So these are some of the good stories I can bring across to say, I tell you, the ministry is doing a lot in prisons. One thing we have also learned in the past, or this time, as we interact with the prisoners, is that there are officers who are chaplains, who are trained, they are Christians, they help them also about the word of God, but these people may not be open fully to the officers, because they think the more they are open to the officers, the more they reveal about their life, and the probability, they think probability are there that the officers may use that as a way of also looking at them as criminals. So because of that, they are more open to us who are friends from outside the prison circles. And with time, they have learned that we don't take their stories anywhere else, but rather we take their stories for prayer. We take their stories for us to help, for us to think more on how we can help them. So they trust us. They trust us. That's why they call us abwenzi, call us companions, friends. Not only that, we bring soap, we bring medicine, because then we realize they have a problem with their physical. Especially when you talk about soap, even one tablet of a soap is enough to keep them smiling. They are given uniform. Some of them don't have uniform, but they wear their clothes. They do all the work they can. Inside the prison, there is no laundry. There's no one and nowhere to laundry. Instead, they have to find time to launder themselves their clothes. So we bring them soap once a month, and this helps them to be clean. So in other words, we are helping the prisoners holistically. We help them in their hygiene, because normally they tell us this is helping them for hygiene, and we know for sure we are also then on healthy, then we are helping on the healthy status. But at the same time, we make them to feel like decent life, so they feel connected with the society. And we have people who have come to us to say, we don't know what could have happened to us if it were not for friends of prison. We have examples of people who have been rejected not only by their families, but the whole village. The whole village, like in Malawi, the village is headed by a chief. So the chief could lead the whole village to say, please do not accept this person in our village once again. Actually, they feel like, what about if he dies there? What about if she dies there? But by the grace of God, when we help these people, we are even able also to escort some of them to their homes, to plead with their families so that they can accept them. And by the grace of God, we are seeing these things happen. So, yeah, friends, we are a group of people. We are not a very big group. We are 7 of us. 2 are the Canadians, Joel and David Shebino. And 5, we are the Malawians in Malawi. Myself, Hastings, we have Taekwondo Thompson, we have Hastings Minjiro, another Hastings anyway. We have Rames Uwayo, we have Laika Mohone. This team together brings joy, brings love, brings life to the people who are like, where were you? When we come, they always like to say, we have God coming to us. So this is much that we are doing. But apart from that, we are bringing impact to these prisoners. It's like we bring impact to their life in prison, so they have joy regardless of their difficult times. But we also help them to prepare them for their life when they get out. Yes, they are there. Apart from that, we are also helping officers. We have testimonies of officers who could be aside with us when we are counseling, when we are preaching, when we are doing Bible study for their security. But the word of God, like the Bible itself, it pierces into the hearts of people. The word of God also is piercing in these officers. At a time they could call us behind and say, oh, sorry, I also need Christ. Oh, sorry, I need this. So we also cancel even the officers. So the impact is so huge. It's not only for those incarcerated, but even the officers, they can testify. They can testify of what God is doing. Just recently, 2 weeks ago, a few days ago, this is just one of the testimonies I can share, that some of these officers, one of the officers is praising God because he has been promoted. Like, he was thinking of among 30 people from one prison. That time he was injured. He could not explain himself precisely at the interview, but he has been picked up and has been promoted. He feels like it's because at the moment he gave his life to Christ, it's because now he is full of joy and he has grace in him. And he thinks because of my friends of prison coming, they are close to them, then life is there. So holistically, we are helping prisons in Malawi. So therefore, I should also like to say thank you for all the support, not only because of this award, but I thank you, all the Canadians, for the support you are doing for Malawi Friends of Prison. Without you, we cannot proceed. Without you, we cannot bring this good message. Without you, we cannot bring joy to people. So as I conclude, I say, this is one of the things that no one can run away to. We are there.
I know in Canada, we always get stressed out when technology doesn't work. That's just a way of life in Malawi. I mean, technology is like, we're good to go. And so obviously, it was great to hear a little bit from Hastings. Are we able to get them online?
Wonderful. Oh, great. Reverend Hastings, thank you for your beautiful presentation to share with us the work of Friends of Prison Ministry, and particularly that idea of being companions. Certainly wish you could have been here in person to greet you in person, but it's good to see you over Zoom. So welcome.
Thank you.
If you have a few words to share, we'd love to hear, and then I'll offer a few words.
Well, I don't have much to say, but appreciation of whatever has happened today. We appreciate that you are supporting us in Malawi. It's a tiny and small country, but you are doing great things to all of us. We will continue to remember and pray for the Presbyterian Church in Canada for the wonderful work you are doing across the world. And I bring greetings from Malawi, also blessings from the church in Malawi to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Your presentation was very touching to me personally. Here in Canada, in the province of Nova Scotia, I did some volunteering in the prison. And what I deeply appreciated was how you deeply expressed the words of Scripture when Jesus says to those who said, well, when did we see you? When I was in prison, you visited me. I think as Jesus calls us to see him in the face of those who are in prison, is for us to be invited to see the humanity in those who are often forgotten or written off by society. And so for your ministry to honor the humanity that is with those who are seen as friends within the prison is just very touching and moving. It is a reminder that that God's grace is sufficient for all, and God does invite us again to see Christ, to see Him in those who are hungry, thirsty, who need clothing, and who are in prison. So, a very touching presentation, and it is an honor to be able to present the Cutting Edge Mission Award to you for your ministry, and we wish you God's continued blessings upon this ministry, by which you build those connections and relationships with those who are companions. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Hastings, good to see you, buddy. I'd like you all to notice that Hastings is on point with his Canadian flag there as well. Our hope is that Hastings will be coming to Canada at some point, and so if you are in the southwestern Ontario area, we'll be able to spend some time with him. I'm going to be around all day, and so if you have questions or you'd like to know more about the Friends of Prison Ministry in Malawi, I'm going to be hanging out at the LMA table during break and during lunch. We'd love to chat with you. We have a website. You can find out more information. And we also have some Malawian gifts. And so I'd like to present first to our moderator. This is actually all Malawian swag. And so we have bookmarks, and we also have handbags, which is made by one of our team members in Malawi. So the plan was Hastings was going to bring additional resources with him when he came, as I was there in February and didn't bring enough, I don't think. So come early and get some stuff is the point in all of this. But moderator, I won't make you rush out to the table, but thank you for your time, your attention. It has been a real privilege to be here, but the real privilege is working with these phenomenal individuals in Malawi to really bring the gospel into the hearts of people who so desperately need it. So thank you, moderator.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.